Hi everyone, I welcome you all to the next question answer session. So every work we do has a purpose to serve, and I think the session what we are handling right now has also some purpose to serve. So that's all about bringing some kind of awareness in the minds of the people. See, everyone here wants to lead their life happily, wants to celebrate every second of their life. But they are challenged by circumstances, and these circumstances do not allow them to be happy. They have to undergo pain, they have to undergo pressure, emotional imbalance. So one thing I have discovered in all my experiences of life is this. It's like almost all the problems that we encounter in life are just the outcomes of lack of awareness, not knowing about certain things. See, in my initial days when I didn't know that all the suffering I was experiencing in my life was just because of the thinking that my mind was creating. There was nothing for me to worry about, there was nothing for me to suffer about, but just my mind started making me to think in such a manner wherein I started worrying so much about it. Most of the times, all the worry what I experience in life was mostly about the past, the mistakes what we have done, and about the future. So the fear what we carry towards future. And simply saying, we learn through mistakes. There is no other way wherein we can learn anything in life other than making mistakes. So making mistake is a part of life. Even we learn walking by making mistakes. We fell so many times. We learn how to eat, we learn how to dress, we learn how to talk, we learn how to express our things. Everything has got started in our life, okay, by making mistakes only. But we create a big hype for this. We keep worrying about it. It's not that it happens only in our life, it happens in everyone's life. Probably there will not be a human being on this earth who has not done any mistake. Even Jesus once said that, call me not perfect, only the God in heaven is perfect. So when someone asked him, okay, how many times we have to forgive a person? So Jesus said, always, or 70 times 7. That means we have to keep on forgiving a person because he is being backed up by emotional influence, his thought process. They drive him to exhibit all this. So mistakes are pretty common, but we take them very seriously. And taking those mistakes seriously, we keep worrying within ourselves. And missing somebody, relations come, relations go. And most of the times with some maturity, what we have, we think that this person is the right one for us to lead our life. But as we go forward in life, we'll realize that probably he may not be the right one or she may not be the right one. But we don't realize that at that age. See, probably for a child, ice cream becomes a very important food item. If he's not given ice cream, he struggles a lot. But for an adult who has come to an age of 40 or so, ice cream doesn't matter anything for him. So, as we grow in life, we keep realizing many things. Our maturity increases. So, once we increase our maturity, things change. Probably it may be very difficult for us to do mathematical problems in 4th class because our maturity at that time is that we can't handle them. But once we come to 10th class, probably the questions in 4th class might be very easy because we increase our maturity. Maturity is nothing but updation of awareness, having awareness about various things. The same thing works here also. So, most of the people keep worrying about the mistakes what they have done in their past. Even the issues that have happened, that has happened 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20, 30 years ago, they keep recollecting that. Mind keeps on projecting them and they start suffering for it. On the other side, even people think about what has not yet arrived and keep fearing about it and suffering about it. So like this, if you can check most of the things what human beings experience are due to lack of knowledge. See, sometimes we worry that somebody shouted at us, somebody said something wrong. But generally in anger, a person loses his memory and he doesn't have the ability to distinguish what is right and what is wrong. In that particular situation, he doesn't know what he is speaking. So we are not supposed to take that communication and that behavior because he's not in balance. If he is in balance, he never does it. But we take the communication that a person exhibits in anger, in worry, in disturbance seriously, and we break relations. It's also immaturity. And most of the times, if a person's behavior or if a person's communication is not good, we don't realize that, okay, it is his life and he is doing what he loves. He is behaving according to his choice. But we start thinking that he is not behaving according to us. He is not communicating the way we want him to communicate. And just imagine, okay, can we behave according to the other person? Can we communicate according to the other person? If there is someone who's there to insist on us to say that you must behave like this and you must communicate like this, it's never possible for us. But we expect the same thing for others, from others. See, we want the whole world to become comfortable for us to be comfortable. And that never happens. So all these circumstances, all these situations, okay, are just because of lack of maturity. Most of the times we keep blaming everyone around us for the pain and worry that we are experiencing. Indeed, no one is responsible for anything that is happening in our life. We are absolutely responsible because anyone can say anything, anyone can do anything, but what we think about it creates the pain in us, creates the suffering in us. We need to understand that what other person is talking or what other person is doing is not going to make us suffer or make us feel happy. But what we think about it, that makes us feel happy or that makes us suffer. But thinking is happening within us. So it's not happening outside. So every time we gain some kind of awareness about various things, so we gain our maturity. As we grow in maturity, we drop away many problems that we have been suffering or we will suffer. So if you don't update your maturity, if you don't enhance your awareness, then you will have to undergo a lot of pain in life. Your mind will put you in such a kind of confusion that it will not allow you to be in peace. So, my life changed its route only after gaining awareness about various factors, knowing how my mind works, how my mind thinks, how my mind acts in different situations. Then slowly I started taking control of my life. And if knowledge and awareness was not there in me, I don't think that I would have been in a position to handle the pressures, handle challenges, encounter circumstances that cope up in life. So, I don't say that I'm 100% celebrating my life, but I'm good. I'm more than 51%. I can handle my things. I know why something is happening in life. So, it's putting me in comfort. I want that comfort to be there in everyone. My desire is only one thing. I want to see this world as a beautiful place to live in. And if there is some part what my mind and my heart can do, so let it be played to the best extent. So for that to flourish, we took up the task of doing this question answer session. And I'm grateful for everyone who is listening this. And I'm really grateful for everyone who is asking questions and updating their awareness. So I strongly believe that if one person becomes knowledgeable, he can change the lives of thousands. Knowingly or unknowingly, life made me to update my awareness. Life made me to gain knowledge about various things. And once it happened, automatically, I could help many people in different challenges. So I hope you too can, if you can enhance your awareness. But remember one thing, that it's not an instant process. We cannot develop it all of a sudden. It's a step-by-step process. We only do it bit by bit, step by step. All we need to do is, we have to keep some time for it and keep updating ourselves, keep enhancing ourselves. It's like we feed our stomach 3 times a day. In a similar manner, keep feeding your mind with positive information 3 times a day. So once you feed your mind with some good information, good food for your mind and good food for your body, your life is fantastic. Okay, so let's take this session forward with the blessings of the elderly ones and the Lord, and with beautiful questions from my viewers. Okay, so let me start up with the first question. Bashir, how are you, hero? It's a long time, okay, since I got in touch with you. So I hope you must be doing great, because you are tuned to hardworking. So one who works hard, works on a particular thing so many times, gives a lot of time for updating himself, will have a future to create, and you do it. Okay, how to get spirituality into this body? Simple. See, what's avoiding you from spirituality, or what's avoiding you from doing anything good? It's your mind. Your mind is not working the way you want it to work. See, let me say, Bashir, you want to read Quran every day, you want to discuss about a lot of content that is there in the Quran, you want to undergo it. If there is something that is not allowing you to do it, it's your mind. So if there is something which is forcing you to do it, it's your mind. Because it's being attracted to something else. You might be interested in watching movies, in playing games, or meeting friends, chatting with friends, traveling, spending time with friends. So enjoying, having parties, going to pubs, different things might attract you. So you attract all of them because your mind is insisting you to do it. So it's simple, okay? Life, when it gets into the control of the mind, we are a slave of it. When we are a slave, we do what mind says. But if we can gain the control of our mind, I'll tell you how to gain the control of our mind. If we can gain the control of our mind, then we are the masters of the mind. We can use our mind to create all greatness. In order to gain control of the mind, first you have to tune your mind for something. Your mind works based on your past memories. Probably, to give you a simple example, you take a book, sit and read. When you're reading, there is nothing to smile, there is nothing to laugh, there is nothing to make fun of, there is no jovial thing. So it's a serious content. You have to use your mind, think about it, identify the logics, gain concepts, get clarity about a lot of content. Okay? But when it comes to a movie or spending time in a party, there's a lot of fun, there's a lot of entertainment. You eat, you drink, you play, you do a lot of things. So this memory is exciting and this memory is not exciting. That is what the mind projects. So when this memory is not exciting, we don't prefer to go with this memory. This memory is exciting, so we prefer to go for it. So let's say we have already seen all the movies that are running in town. Probably there is one movie which is very boring and there is a movie which is good enough, okay? But we have already seen these two movies, but still we want to go for a movie. So in that case, we definitely don't prefer the movie which is boring, which is not so interesting. But we try to go for a movie which is interesting, because the memory that we had with a boring movie is not good. We were struggling to see it. We couldn't really enjoy it, okay? We were waiting for the time to pass. But when it comes to an interesting movie, so we had some fun in it. The time started rolling very quickly. So in that circumstance, what we do is we prefer to go for the movie which is exciting, which is interesting. The same thing is the case with you also. Mind shows the memory of both the things. And as this is exciting, you prefer and go with it. That's it. So you're not supposed to go with it. See, spirituality is all about doing the right things. So when you do the right things, automatically you take control over your mind. Once you take control over your mind, make your mind to think about something which is really good, then automatically you have your mind into your control. Then you can use your mind for a right cause. See, if you leave a field barren, all weeds grow in it and serve no purpose. But when we can cultivate a beautiful crop, it gives a wonderful harvest. And we have plenty of seeds through which we can recultivate again. And that goes on, that continues consistently. The same thing is with us. So what's the use of leaving our mind and doing things according to its excitement? So no harvest, no continuation of that. But if you can get your mind into your control and then start using it for a good cause, then automatically you cultivate a beautiful crop, and that can cultivate plenty of crops in the minds of others, and we can control that greatly. So getting spirituality into your body is all about getting your mind into your control. So for that, all you need to do is feed your stomach with good food, fruits, healthy food, and feed your mind with good information. So don't expose your mind for all kinds of fancy information, but expose your mind for spiritual content. Then automatically your mind yields to you. See, until and unless a horse yields to us, we cannot ride it. In a similar manner, we have to get our mind into our control. We have to make it yield to us. So once your mind gets into your control, then spirituality automatically gets into your body, because it's all about becoming useful for the society, passing the right knowledge to the society, seeing this world as a beautiful place to live in, living not only for us, but living for the smiles of everyone around us. So destroying selfishness and greed within us and developing compassion and love towards everybody. Having a cheerful word, greeting everyone with a smile, working for the success of everyone around us, celebrating the success of others more than ours. So spirituality is about many more things. But first, if you have to get that into your body, get your mind into your control. So that happens if you use your sense organs to pass knowledge. Sense organs acts as doorways to pass knowledge into your mind. So use your sense organs for right cause. See something good, listen to something good, read something good, write something good, speak something good. So I told you, right, it's all about doing the right things. So most of us, we do things which create pleasure for us. We don't do things because that is right, but we do things because they create pleasure. That should not be our motto. We have to go by doing the right things. Then automatically things will fall in place. Thank you so much, Bashir, for your beautiful question. I really enjoyed answering your question. Hi, Manohar. Thanks a lot for your question. I wish you all the best for everything. What is knowledge? Knowledge is just a collection of facts, truths. See, most of the times we convince our mind with a lot of false things and we try to manage our life. But if we go with the truth, then life is going to be celebrating. So in all my 47 or 48 years of experience, what I've learned is this: when we lead our life with truth, then everything is great. So life is not great when we don't lead our life with truth. That's it. So a collection of truths or collection of facts is called as knowledge. So it can be about anything. So when we have that, we automatically go with that. But if we are not having truth, then we invite a lot of problems. So let's say someone came to you and said that, okay, someone cheated you or someone talked ill of you. They didn't really do that, but you started believing and you started going with this perspective. Then automatically what happens? You keep away from a good friend. So probably yesterday I was going through a story. It's something like this. A king had a lot of ministers. One minister was very wise and the king's attention fell on him. He loved him so much. So that arose jealousy in the rest of the ministers. So rest of the ministers managed the guards and saw that they will not allow the minister to enter into the court of the king. So the king did not just probably felt that, okay, he might have missed the session today, 2 days, 3 days and all. But he was not seen for almost 4-5 days. Then automatically he asked the remaining ministers. So they said that he is suffering from a deadly disease wherein it's not possible to meet him. No one is allowed to go and see him because that disease is communicable, and if at all if someone goes there and they're also going to experience death. So that's the reason why. So no one is going to him and he is not coming. He doesn't want to harm everyone. So the king felt, oh, probably a very unlucky guy. Let's see if he recovers, he's going to come. As the days passed, okay, so the people started passing an information about him to the king that he died. He is no more. So the king had no excuse and the king forgot about him. And the days passed. So this fellow was alive. He was indoors. Even he comes outside, so he managed, the other ministers managed everyone in town saying that he is no more. So they started propagating a statement that the devil of him is walking in streets. So people started getting scared, okay, whenever they see him. So he was not even comfortable to walk in town also. So after a few days when king was just traveling, he somehow managed to appear before the king. But all the ministers put some dust and all and tried to make the king be in a fantasy world for some time wherein he can't see anything. And then he made him get escape from that place and later convinced the king that, okay, so the minister came in the form of devil and was about to cause some harm to you, but we saved you. So later the minister felt that if there is no use of staying here, let me go down to the forest and do some austerities. And he started doing there. And after a long time, the king had been to the forest and saw this minister and he was shocked. So he started thinking that this devil is not leaving me even in the forest. What hell is this? Now just try to understand this. A false statement was propagated and the whole town started believing it. So this is false. So in the process there is a great damage for that kingdom. But that's how the things will be. So when we take a false statement, we miss relations. When we go with the false statement, we suffer in life. So knowledge is all about knowing facts, knowing truths, realizing the truths. When we realize that truths, automatically we can lead the right life. That's it. See, let's take a piece of knowledge. It says that we become what we think. That's a piece of knowledge. So when we realize that we become what we think, we must be very careful about thinking. What we are thinking matters a lot. But who cares about what we are thinking? So whatever the mind thinks, okay, they just go with it. And they become that. And becoming that, they suffer a lot in life. But if they can handle their thinking greatly, I don't think that they are going to experience that suffering in life. So another statement says that you are your own friend, you are your own foe. Which means you are a friend for yourself and you are an enemy for yourself. On the other side, it means that, okay, you don't have friends and you don't have enemies. And indeed, it's true. And that's piece of knowledge. But we don't know it, right? Say a beautiful poem in Telugu, it says, Kurimigala dinamulalo neramulennadu kaluganeruvu. Mari aa kurimi virasam baina neramule tochuchundu nikkamu sumati. Which says in friendship, we never find any mistake in our friend. But once the friendship breaks, we never find anything good. Everything appears to be a mistake. Indeed, if we can understand this piece of knowledge that it is the mind and the way it is thinking that's making us experience friendship and enmity, then I think, okay, we are going to celebrate greatness in life. Knowledge is knowing the truth. You take any statement that has been propagated to you. So, any statement that you have learned, but one simple thing is, knowledge is like a raw material. It's like a seed. So, when it is put in the soil and cultivated, it sprouts and start giving fruits. This is also the same thing. So, knowledge is like a raw material. We need to think about it, we need to question on it, we need to analyze it, and we need to gain clarity about that knowledge. So when we gain clarity about that knowledge, we convert that into an applicable form, something which can be utilized. So in a phase where you gain that clarity, we say that we have got wisdom on it. So what is the use of having knowledge which cannot be implemented? Knowledge, to get implemented, must gain clarity. That's it. Okay? So, knowledge is nothing but a collection of facts. You have to gain knowledge because so when you have truths with you, you lead life correctly. And there is no use of having information in our heads. So, you always know that, okay, we are not supposed to have greed, we are not supposed to be selfish, we have to speak truth, we have to be honest, we have to keep up our promises. These are all truths. So we are not supposed to hurt others, we have to respect elders, we have to be genuine with others, we have to be kind, we have to be compassionate. We should maintain our integrity. So we should maintain character, we have to behave properly. A lot of things we must have learned. We have to exhibit courage. We have to be confident in every move of our life. We have to love everything. We don't have the right to hate. So this is all knowledge what we have gained right from our childhood days. But I don't think most of this information is being implemented. Not most. Almost everything is not being implemented because people just keep this knowledge in memory. But we have to analyze every piece of knowledge and gain clarity about it. Then we will get clarity in order to implement that knowledge. Once we implement that knowledge, that becomes wisdom. And then we are called as wise people. Wise people go in depth of knowledge, understand it to the minute detail, and start implementing it or inculcating into their life. They live with that knowledge. As they live with that knowledge, they become wise. And they celebrate their living greatly. So, knowledge is like a raw material. It's a collection of facts. It's a collection of truths. So, you need to know it, but you need to analyze everything and gain clarity on it. Then it can be implemented. Okay. So, go through the books of successful people, grow through scriptures. So, listen to great people's speeches, then automatically you can gain a lot of knowledge. Like a person once said that a true jewel or an ornament for a woman is patience. This is a piece of knowledge. So we need to understand how patience is going to really be a decorative ornament. When we have patience, what happens? So we are responsible for everything that's happening in our life. All these things, when we gain clarity about, okay, when we implement all this, that will really be a wonderful thing to analyze and take your life forward through. So first, expose yourself to knowledge and start analyzing it and start implementing it. Then you can make your life a different experience to lead about. Lokesh, good evening, man. Thanks for your question. I really appreciate you making your mind to trigger some good questions out of it. Why some people take self-blame? It's like people who are arrogant, people who are with ego, try to blame others because they have that arrogance in order to handle it, simply saying. But some people are sensitive, so they can't blame others. Even if it is the mistake of others, they can't blame others. They start thinking that they are in a helpless situation and they have to bear it. That's it. And that's the reason why they take self-blame. See, for example, if the Chief Minister Jagan takes some wrong decisions which are not feasible, which are not good for the prosperity of the state. So most of the people start thinking that we are unlucky, we are helpless, we can't do anything. So we have to bear it, that's all. How many voices definitely raise and question him? How many voices dare to blame him and say that this is not the way we have to do it? This is not the way it should be done. We are not supposed to do anything for personal politics. We are not supposed to make any decisions for enhancing the vote bank. But we have to make decisions in such a manner that it helps everyone in the society and makes the society a beautiful place to live in. So they may not. Because they're afraid of challenges that they have to encounter unnecessarily by interfering into it. So the arrogant, the egoistic may blame others, but the sensitive, the matured, the intelligent will have a self-blame for themselves. But this has to be perceived in various ways, I suppose, Lokesh, because situations will be different. I don't know exactly in which angle you're trying to ask, but let me guide you about something. See, generally most of the people, they feel unlucky or they feel bad, okay, when something is going against them. See, I happened to experience a movie recently, like A Box Full of Faith. So in that movie, a girl has to undergo some challenges wherein his father will be taken into custody, probably he'll be sent to jail. So she's left alone. She has to sleep under a bridge and she has to keep away from him. She has to stay herself in a new place. So there she prays to God, asking Him to help her to go through that experience. God, help me to go through this experience. I'll be a wonderful warrior for you. Help me to go through this experience. I will be a wonderful warrior for you. So she's ready to take that, because she says that we are not supposed to question God. When God asks us to undergo an experience, we must be ready for that experience. We are not supposed to question Him. We just have to ask Him to help us to undergo that experience. And we will be the great warrior of Him. So we will fight our best in experiencing that. That's wonderful. But this attitude most of the people will not have when they have challenges. So there's no use of just taking a self-blame and start worrying about it. See, for example, I'm teaching for 20 years. Even today, I take the blame for myself that I'm not a very good trainer. Still, I have to empower myself. I have to update myself. I have to make the knowledge simplified. I have to understand in more detail. See, I go for a training program. I train a guy. He's a bit slow. So I started taking classes. Almost I took nearly 10 classes for him. I started going in a system, step by step, step by step. Today, I don't know why, I just wanted to know what he has really understood in all these sessions. So I asked him to explain what he has understood. And I was shocked, because he was talking about a lot of things which are no way related to that content. So this made me to think that I have to increase the role of my students' performance than my performance. Here I can take the blames, because that makes me to enhance myself, that makes me to think in different angle wherein I can solve the problems of people. But I can blame him, saying that I taught you very clearly, I explained every concept in detail, but you silly fellow, you are not following me, you are not focusing on what I am saying, you are not doing, okay, all the things that I have been telling you. That is the reason why you are making nonsense out of this session. But that is not going to solve the problem at all, right? So, in all the batches what I have trained, probably I must have trained over 1,000 plus batches, okay? So, I never say that, okay, 100% of the students who joined the batch became successful speakers. And I take the blame for that. So, by taking the blame here, I enhance responsibility. I increase my seriousness towards my preparation. I give time to think, to find more solutions, to become more creative, and to try to understand the students better, knowing their problems, knowing what is going on around, so that I can really create some solutions, okay, which are going to bring the children out of their challenges. So here, if I take the blame, I think that's going to become a responsibility. We must have experienced this even in the life of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi's father happened to ask him to come to a place at 6 o'clock, but Gandhi drives there 20 minutes late. So his father immediately says that, I didn't teach you discipline. I asked you to come by 6 o'clock, but you came by 6:30, so which is not right. And I need to take the punishment for this. So his father happened to walk for 20 kilometers, so not getting into the car. And this made Gandhi realize that discipline is really important in life. So his father did not blame Gandhi for that, he took the blame for it. So in a particular situation when Gandhi was telling lies, his father started taking punishment for himself. So in some situations, taking a self-blame might be accepting responsibilities. And that's indeed great, I suppose. Okay. But in what intention you're asking it, I didn't get it. So if possible, we'll have a personal discussion about it at some other time. and try to resolve it, Lokesh. Thank you so much for this. Maheshwari, how can we get satisfaction in our work? See, with all the abilities what we have, whatever we are trying to do, we must be satisfied with it. See, one thing is, don't ever think that with some maturity, we do some work. And whatever we are doing with that maturity is right. Probably as we grow in life, our maturity increases. When our maturity increases, what we have done in the past might look silly. But that silly experience is needed in order to gain our maturity. If I have not done something silly in my past, I don't think that I must have enhanced my maturity. So, silly experiences or something which is not successful in what we have done also is needed in order to make us mature. So what we do with the best of our abilities is right, and we must be happy with it. So probably I've been teaching for almost 20 years. I never say that in all my 20 years I was a perfect trainer. I did everything perfectly. I was systematic, I was disciplined, I was great. No, I did a lot of mistakes. I've undergone a lot of challenges. But initially, I too had that worry within myself that I'm not a proper trainer, I don't have proper knowledge about this, I'm not qualified really and all. But beyond all this, one thing that pertains most is, do you love what you're doing? First question. And do you really love to see your students becoming successful? Are you really seeking the success of your students more than money? See, when we do a profession that we don't love, and when money is our priority than the prosperity of the students, and when we are not so serious about the future of our children, then I think we don't need to fit into that profile. And a fellow with these three contents definitely may not get satisfied, because he always wants to go more, do more, okay, stretch his limitations to the best and do something or the other, explore, keep going. But we need to understand that we cannot see the results of the work what we are doing, because we are putting seeds in the minds of children. When I was in Pratap Public School, I suppose, okay, I learned something when I was in 4th, 5th and 6th classes, that's all. The knowledge what I've learned in 4th, 5th and 6th classes, there in that school, there were many intellectual students, many people dominated me. They were far more genius when I compare myself with them. I was no way a match with them, frankly saying. They used to participate in competitions. There was a guy by name Rajni, that fellow used to come with a lot of prizes. Wherever he goes, he used to get it. There was a guy by name Narsimha. They used to talk about a lot of matured factors. They were committed, they were sincere. Sometimes I used to get shocked wherein they used to have a torchlight in their hands, cover themselves with a bedsheet and read books at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock at night. So I once saw one of my friend, okay, he came down and he was running on granite stones. Asked him, what are you doing here? That too at night, 1 o'clock. That fellow was saying that I'm getting sleep, I need to study, I have to get first mark. So I don't want to sleep. In order to break my sleep, or in order to come out of that sleep, I'm running on this stone so that the stone creates pain for me. I was shocked at that time. So I was a very normal candidate there. But the information what I've taken at that time, the content that entered into my mind during those days are the base. That is the base for me to create this kingdom or create this training institute and the training program what I'm doing today. So we are putting seeds in the minds of the people. We definitely can't see that, see the crop that is going to get cultivated out of it. But it definitely happens in due course of time. So when one right teacher guides the students greatly, they are going to experience fantastic outcomes in life. Probably one sentence, one story, one information that we pass to the students can really make a big difference. When we help students to develop certain fundamental skills, reading, listening, writing, speaking and thinking, that's going to make a big difference in their lives. So probably students may not notice that, okay, it is because of this madam or it is because of this person I could really change my life, but that definitely works. There's no doubt about it. See, my English master used to give me an imposition to write English textbook 5 times. At that time, he was my biggest villain. Probably by writing the textbook 5 times or 10 times, I wrote it 3, 4 times, I suppose. I've got exposed to a lot of information. I've wrote that information so many times. I've got in reach of it so much, and that really helped me today. See, when I start going through books, when I start going through materials and all, I find most of the information familiar to me. See, initially when I was a trainer in Vita, I used to go through the material and almost all the things in that material, some people don't even understand certain statements, but somehow I used to get clear-cut answers for all that because the knowledge what I've developed in my school days, okay, has really helped me greatly. So, do your job sincerely. Be dedicated in your work. Give your best. What all you can do, you do. You do it joyfully. You don't take a lot of pressure on it. Just see that you keep growing in what you are doing. So, you keep growing in the sense, past knowledge and past glory doesn't work. So, we have to keep on updating ourselves. So, it's not like once we gain knowledge, we read something, we listen to something and things are going to work. No, it's not going to work. I think even recently in the institute, so Tulsi was handling administration and she used to go through Earl Nightingale's presentation on how to create success, a secret of success, some audio which influences her to think about what she wants to create. And she was doing something wonderful during that phase of time and we were really getting some good results in the institute. But later, at some point of time, we couldn't experience that. Then immediately I asked her, okay, are you continuing that? Are you going through it? Are you giving your mind for that? You've done in the past. That doesn't mean that that is going to continue forever. So every time you want progress, okay, you have to give more and more time on it. Only then you can experience that. So update your knowledge. Keep exposing your mind with things that are going around. So grow strong technically. Grow in your intelligence and develop a lot of love for what you're doing. Love your profession, love your children the most, and love to see their future and progress the most, love their success the most. Let that satisfaction not be there in you, so that that keeps you running, keeps you growing, keeps you changing, because change is life. So there's a statement which says that if we do not change, we become extinct. So let's not get extinct. Let's keep changing. Let's keep updating knowledge. Let's keep growing. Then we do something remarkable in our lives. So let the desire keep growing. Okay, let's not get satisfied with it. But never get disappointed, okay, for what is not happening in your life. So don't have expectations. Just keep doing what you're doing. See, I do my best and leave the rest. I don't focus on result. So I get into the class and give my best. I talk with students, give my best. I explain the content greatly, give my best. So I don't bother about the outcomes of it. Never have expectations, never focus on the result. Just do your part greatly, dedicatedly. So put your total focus on that. Be concentrated. Always remember one thing, that children do what they see, not what we say. So somehow we have to first inculcate every great quality that we want to experience in a child. So we have to keep growing every day. We have to become truthful. We have to become honest. We have to keep up our promises. So we have to be disciplined. We have to be committed. We have to be dedicated, focused, concentrated, courageous, confident, compassionate, with love towards everything good. We always have to do the right things. So when we can see that in children. But understand, even they recently came to ask me the same question. I'm not able to see much progress in students. I said that you're only putting seeds in their minds. They have to grow. And once they grow, they start giving fruits. It'll take time for them. You give your best. You keep teaching them what they really need. So giving strength in English is really going to change their life, because that really makes them confident in whatever they are doing. And you're doing the right job. I suppose when you want to go out for a government job, I told you the same thing. If you go to a government job, you may get some decent salary and you may not have a lot of work, and that will make your family secure. But if you can work as a trainer, you may not be getting a lot of money, but you will be influencing the life of 500 to 600 children, and you can grow that happiness in 500 to 600 families, because you're training them a language which is a blend of all the other subjects, which makes them understand all the other subjects when they are really good in English. If they are not really good in English, they don't understand any other subject. They don't master anything if they are not good in English. And the communication or communicating English will really build their courage and confidence. They boost their self-esteem. They enhance their self-love and self-respect greatly. And they develop their self-belief also so much. And this also empowers their thinking greatly. So I've done a lot of research on that. I feel very proud to become a trainer in English. I think doing this, you must be greatly satisfied, because we are like public speakers who influence the minds of people, who create the futures of people. We make them people to create their paths. So we are doing the best job. I'm not saying the other teachers are not doing the great job, but we are like, we can enter into all the subjects. So we can influence everyone there. That's going to be a fantastic thing. So go, do it happily. Be happy with what is coming out. Destroy expectations. Don't focus on result. Give your best and keep celebrating what you are doing. With the knowledge what you have, whatever you are doing is best. That's it. Don't worry for that. I have a lot of problems. Kenchappa, I don't know your name, man, exactly. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. The first statement, I have a lot of problems because of friendship. See, no. You will never get problems because of anything, man, okay? You will always get problems because of your thinking. It's not what is happening in the external world that is worrying you, but it is how you are thinking about what is happening in the external world that is worrying you. So if I have to detail you in a simple manner, బయట ప్రపంచంలో ఏం జరుగుతుందో అది కాదు మీకు బాధని కలగచేసేది. దాని గురించి మీరు ఏం ఆలోచిస్తున్నారో అది మీకు బాధను కలుగచేస్తుంది. ఈ ఒక్క పాయింట్ మీరు అర్థం చేసుకుంటే మీ బాధకు మీరే కారణం అని మీకు అర్థమవుతుంది. Let anything happen in the external world, whatever happens in the external world, so that is not going to trouble you. Let the most disastrous thing happen before us. Let millions of people die before us. Millions of people suffer of hunger before us. Let anything happen before us. But that is not going to cause you worry. But what you are thinking about what's happening in your life, that causes you worry. See, I may have a very good friend and I'm very comfortable in his friendship. Probably there will be a misunderstanding and he leaves me. he leaving me is not going to create worry for me. What I think about he leaving me creates a worry in me. So if a person is leaving my life, God wants a better person to replace it. See, one of my friend always says this statement. He told me so many times that, Ray, initially I had a person who used to help me in all my critical times. But that fellow was suffering from cancer. He's undergoing treatment. He's in a lot of challenges. So I couldn't ask him for any kind of help. And now you got into my life and you are taking care of my support. I'm really grateful to you. And God does this. God is taking away someone to replace a better person in that particular place. But our thinking is so attuned that we keep worrying and we don't notice the greater person who is there around us. So probably in every phase of my life, I had some challenges and I started thinking that my life is gone. There's nothing more to handle in my life. But I seriously tell you, once we start moving forward, we start realizing that a better opportunity knocks us, a better life hits us, and things go great. So you need to understand that it's not what's happening in the external world that's creating pain for you, but what you are thinking about what's happening in the external world, that pains you. See, one thing, when we look at our future, nothing is seen. There's no clarity about what is going to happen in life. But if we go back and start connecting the dots, linking up everything that is happening in our life, why this has happened in our life, why this has happened in our life, and if we start connecting everything in our life, we'll definitely realize that everything happened for a cause. When I was in 6th class, I think I was beaten by my father. And I made a decision that, because I couldn't speak English, I made a decision that my communication must be in English. And I started working for English. I never knew that that decision of me communicating in English was made for me to become an English trainer. And I've undergone like a lot of challenges. I couldn't succeed in any of my educational trials. I was a serious hard worker. I was dedicated. I've given much of my time for it. I was not focused on anything, but still I couldn't succeed in anything. I couldn't even have a nice degree in my hands. But God is very generous to me. When I go back and connect everything why it has happened, even there were cases wherein I had to sit in a police station for 3-4 days. But I seriously tell you that has happened for my good. It has made me realize some of the greatest truths in life. So life, when you look back and connect everything, okay, it's a wonderful journey. You will get absolute clarity that everything is happening for a purpose. It's driving us in a path wherein we are going to have celebration in our life. But we never look back and connect the dots. We always try to look forward and we don't find anything there. Probably there are some areas wherein we get happiness, and that areas, if they get washed away, we feel that we are lost in life. And that's not absolutely true. So when something goes away, allow it to go away. Let that leave us happily, because something great is going to come in that place. See, I had a wonderful administrator before, and I felt that if she's not there in the institute, I'm not going to withstand. But after her leaving the institute, I learned to manage both the things. I learned to face challenges. I learned to become an independent person, because I was a dependent person at that time. So, but later I became an independent person. I came to a stage wherein, what if this institute is not there for me today? God takes care of me. God has everything that I want in life. So, you please need to understand this point clearly. Now I'll go through your questions and check out everything. Okay? So, you said all your problems are because of friendship, okay? They avoided me, but I can't forget their friendship. That's what I was saying. When someone wants to leave us, leave them. Let them leave us and lead a comfortable life. Why we want to hold them? Why we want to say that you must be there in my life? See, simple. Let me say that if I hold you and say that you must be with me, you feel really difficult to stay, right? So we must be at liberty to do what we want in life. మనకి నచ్చినప్పుడు మాత్రమే మనం ఒకరితో ఉండగలం. And we can't, if someone insists on us and says that you must be with me, okay, then how horrible it will be. Just imagine a rich man happened to see a beautiful girl and said that he wanted that girl to be with him. Probably she is in love with someone else and she wants to lead her life with him, but he happened to take her because he's pretty rich. Can we see the girl celebrating? So give freedom for everyone. Leave them happily. Let them go to their choices. Let them do whatever they want in life. You please don't interfere in them. Send them happily in their relation. So even I suffered a lot. At one particular stage, I used to feel that if someone is not very close to me, if someone is getting closer to others, I used to feel a lot jealousy. I was so selfish in different situations. That all happens in your life. So our maturity will not show that clarity for us. Don't worry about it. Allow it to pass. So you focus on other things. There are some people who really want you in life. Go with them. Don't bother yourself about the people who are leaving you. Celebrate the people who are coming into your life. So when I miss some relation, if I really have to build some relation, automatically I get that. See, I was feeling a kind of gap in a friendship, and immediately I was replaced with two very good friends in my life. And I'm really blessed to have them today. So I really had a lot of interest towards building a relationship with Bhaskar in my college days and all, but we didn't spend a lot of time together. But even once he walked into our institute, at that time I really wanted him to stay with me for a long time and share a lot of things. But he just gave me 5-10 minutes and left. He didn't even stay with me. But I had that passion within myself. And I was looking forward for it. And now that fellow stays with me, spends a lot of time with me. We spend a lot of time together. So even I had a friend by name Kedar. I did not have much association with him. But his wife has helped us a lot in building our family relations. So God has a plan for everything. He may take away someone from us, but He puts better people. He really makes our life better. Be a great warrior for the Lord. Pray to Him so that you will go through this experience comfortably. Right now it's a bad experience. You have to hang on with it. You have to go with it. So pray God to give you strength to undergo this experience. All you need to do is only one thing. Your friend leaving you is not troubling you. What you are thinking about your friend leaving you is troubling you. So don't make your mind to think. Don't be in a sad mood. Don't be in a dull mood, because if you are in a sad mood, you are indicating your mind that you want to worry, you want to cry, you want to suffer. So automatically your mind keeps on connecting all the negative thoughts into your mind, one after the another, and your emotions get strongly negative. Don't do that. So put yourself in a happy zone. Do something what you love. Celebrate your life. Read something interesting. Be with people whom you love. Watch movies if possible. Listen to songs that you love. Do something really good. See, when I was in a state like this, when I missed someone, I was not in a position to balance myself. I started updating knowledge because I love knowledge. I gave all my free time for updating knowledge. So expose yourself for something, okay? Don't make your mind to be free. See, when you are challenged, okay, you must be very careful. You must eat properly. You must exercise properly. You must work greatly. You must take care of your dressing. You must be very active. You must celebrate. You have to move with friends. You have to go on trips, okay? You have to celebrate in occasions, you have to participate in everything, you have to go for movies, you have to go to public places, you have to increase your celebration and bring the situation into balance. But what most of the people do is, whenever they are challenged by a problem, they start getting themselves into a kind of depression, dull, worry, okay? So they develop a strong negative feel. In this strong negative feel, automatically that indicates an indication to the mind that, okay, you won't worry, and your mind thinks negatively, and your emotions go negative, your circumstances go negative, your life becomes a mess. Don't do it. See, there's nothing that you can control in this world. You're just here to experience what's happening in life. We are not even permanent. We don't know whether we are going to be here or not tomorrow. We just need to experience, and we have to make that experience great. In order to make that experience great, our thinking must be controlled. If you're not able to control our thinking, then automatically we make the experience of life worst. I hope you're understanding. So don't hang on with it. Do something great. Just right now, if you're really listening to what I'm saying, give a smile. Thank God for what has happened. If possible, just move out from that place. Eat something what you love. Send somebody and get something what you love to eat. If it is chocolate, chocolate. If it is some sweet, sweet. Okay. Call somebody whom you love most. Talk to them. Watch some movie which you love most. Go to a place that you love most. Do something what you love. If you love to run, you run. Spend your time on exercise. Build your body. Wear some good dress. Be cheerful. You need to take care of yourself so much. See, when you fall sick, you take care of your health so much. You take proper diet. You take proper rest. You take proper medication. You will be in a right atmosphere. You don't neglect. But when you are mentally diseased, why do you neglect? You have to take a proper care of that. Otherwise, you are going to put yourself into disturbance. That's going to create a big damage, friend. Don't ever give that option. So let people who want to leave you, leave. Let people who want to come into your life, come. Because the people who are leaving for a right cause. They don't fit into you. Right now you feel that they are your best, but that will not be. You will realize later. And the people who are coming into your life may not be your best choice right now, but you will realize in future that they are your best choice. Understand this. So next, what is the solution? I've been talking about it. My friends cheated me, sir. Only they used me for money purpose, but I'm getting disturbances with their friendship. See, don't ever think, even here also, enhance your thinking, change your thinking, okay? Don't start thinking that you're cheated. Okay, start realizing that I identified the areas where I get cheated. See, I had a weakness actually, when if someone has a big dream, I would be ready to do anything for them. In the process, a few people cheated me. And if someone isn't worried, like disturbances or problems, I'll be ready to do anything for them. So, in this process also, a few people made use of me. They cheated me. But I didn't consider that as cheating. I started considering it as, I identified the areas wherein I'll get cheated. And I started taking care of myself. So, every time a person cheats you, start learning a lesson that this is the area where someone cheats me. So that knowledge is going to help you in future. So don't think with that perspective. See, everything that's happening is happening because of your thinking. You need to change your thinking. Start questioning, what can I change in my thinking? How can I think in a better manner to make this situation better? So your mind is not thinking in a manner it has to think. That's the reason why it's creating pain for you. Now you change your thinking pattern, automatically everything changes. Okay? You will forget your friendship, but only thing is you have to occupy yourself into something else. And definitely see, if you have a wound, it will take time to heal. But you cannot show a wound which is there permanently. It will never be there. So you experience it, and slowly you will definitely forget it. So it will be a tough time for you. You take care of yourself so much, I told you, right? So you put yourself in celebrating times, and automatically you forget them. They want only money for that, to talk to me. It's okay, see. I'll tell you one thing. If someone, we don't need a friend, really. All we need is knowledge to lead our life better. We have to make friendship with ourselves. See, friend is nothing but our reflection. We can only see what we are in the other person. So people, when they find an innocent guy, they want to cheat, definitely, because they get it easily. So in the process, you might have been cheated. Now you realize. Now love your family. Spend more time with your parents. Your father can be your best friend. Spend time with him. Your mother really becomes your best friend. You have sisters, your brothers. You give utmost importance for your family because they never cheat you. They never deceive you. Probably we always look forward for someone and we feel comfortable in their relationship, thinking that they are going to give everything for us. But there's no one who can give everything for us other than our parents and family members. Why can't we make a wonderful relation with that family members? We always keep chasing someone and keep regretting in future. That may not be right. So, just slowly come out of that, things will change. So strongly remember one thing in your life, that's this. You're not suffering because of what's happening in your life, but you're suffering because the way you're thinking. You must control your thinking. If not, you cannot handle this. It becomes difficult. If you're not able to control your thinking, expose your mind for some beautiful information and everything changes. All the best, man. Don't worry, if you really feel it tough, please meet me once in the institute. We can have a personal talk and resolve it greatly. Okay? I pray God to give you that strength to undergo this experience and become a normal person very soon. Take care of yourself. I told you, right? A patient needs care. You to need that. And nobody is going to do this for you because you're not externally deceased. You're deceased in the mind. So you must take care of yourself. Okay? Take care. What's inner voice, sir? Pyari, how are you? How can we find this inner voice? Sit calm and keep observing. You can slowly get it. So when I knew about this inner voice, even I had a question mark. I couldn't experience it in the initial days, but later I could experience it. Even today, when I'm doing something wrong and when I'm not doing the right thing, immediately my inner voice tells me, this is not the way you have to think like this. So probably that is the voice of God, I suppose, okay, which keeps telling that you have to go like this, you have to communicate like this. So this may not be right. Okay, this may not, see, sometimes I get irritated over someone and immediately my mind says that you need to understand that they are behaving with their maturity. Their thoughts are troubling them. And when their thoughts are troubling them, okay, they behave like that. How can you take it seriously? You need to understand them, right? So after all, they are your children. So you will get that. So slowly start handling your mind, okay, with positive information and thinking. Then automatically you can experience your inner voice. Sudarshan Reddy, how are you, man? Could you please explore on the presence of mind? Presence of mind is nothing but focusing on how your mind is thinking, man, that's it. In a particular situation, see, you do and you speak the way your mind is thinking. So having presence of mind in that particular situation is observing how your mind is thinking in that particular situation. That's it. Most of the times we don't notice how our mind is thinking. See, every word I'm speaking now, every expression of mine, every moment, see, sometimes I'm just bending like this because my mind is thinking in a manner where it is saying that, okay, your legs are paining, you have been standing for a long time. So I'm just trying to stretch or bend myself where it relaxes for some time. Okay. So if there is no thinking, I think you can't get into the influence of it. Probably I'm answering these questions. I have two more questions in my hand, three more questions in my hand. But Tulsi is trying to tear some more papers and write it. I'm just thinking, okay, have I completed my one and a half hour of the session, or still I'm just going on with this? So my mind is thinking in this particular situation. You need to understand that every experience of life is because of thinking. Okay? So if you understand this truth that whatever that is happening in your life is just the outcome of what your mind is thinking, what you do, what you speak are just the outcomes of your thinking. If you're doing the right thing, it's because your mind is thinking like that. If you're doing the wrong thing, it's because your mind is thinking like that. And if you can change that thinking, then everything changes. See, we don't want a movie to be projected on a screen. We can't do anything on screen. See, everyone tries to change the screen, change the things on the screen. See, I don't like a particular scene on screen. I don't like a particular movie being projected on screen. Let's say. Okay, let's say I don't want Kantara to be projected on screen. I want some other movie to be projected on screen. Now, what I have to do, I can't go and do anything on the screen. We can't do anything in the external world. What we have to do is we have to go and change the movie. So once we change the movie, what is being displayed on screen changes. The same thing is with you also. Okay? So whatever the action you are doing, whatever communication you are making, you need to understand that that is the outcome of the way your mind is thinking. So the presence of mind is observing how your mind is thinking in that particular situation and what you are really doing. See, in the afternoon, around 3:30 or so, I just wanted to come for a question answer session. So my wife was watching something on mobile. I just asked her to put the mobile in charging because I need the charging to do this question answer session. So my wife didn't do it, okay? She was just watching it. I just noticed it, but I just handled myself because we generally become arrogant, right? Some kind of irritation comes within me. So in that particular situation, my wife started asking me, at what time is question answer session? I didn't even answer because I was a bit irritated at that particular time. I asked her to put it in charging, but she's not doing it. This was what going on in my mind. Then I started convincing, okay, oh, my mind is thinking in a negative manner. Probably she must be thinking that it's only 3:30. There's a lot of time. The question answer session is at 5 o'clock. We can put it in charging from 4 o'clock. Or after 5-10 minutes, I'll put it. So if I'm not able to understand that my thinking is not right in that particular situation, I create a mess, right? So presence of mind is knowing that every word you are communicating, everything you are doing is an outcome of the thinking that's going on in your mind. Understand this, that's it. Okay? Sai Maruti, good evening, man. Thanks a lot for your question. I would not get feel bad from someone's word. How to not feel bad for someone's words, I suppose. See, the other person is communicating from his immaturity, man. A matured person never speaks like that. And you cannot expect an immature person to speak with great maturity. Everyone exhibits what they have. See, if someone is wearing a black glass, he can only see the world black. If he's wearing a green glass, he can only see the world green. So his maturity can only make him to communicate in that manner. If he's not matured enough to communicate it, okay, it makes no sense, right? See, right now, I'm taking this question answer session. I just have some urgent work to go on. So if you just ask my son, who is studying 6th class, to come and continue this question answer session, can he continue? He cannot. I can fire on him, I can get serious about him, I can beat him, I can kick him, okay, but I can't make him to do this because he's not matured enough to do that. The same is the case with others. When they're not matured enough, they cannot communicate in the manner you want. You have to look out for people who are more matured so that they'll communicate nicely. So don't feel bad for someone speaking like that because their maturity is that. Understand this. So you cannot expect everyone who is moving on road to do a surgery for you. Only a professional doctor can do it because he has got maturity in that particular area. You can't expect everyone to prepare a sofa for you. Only a professional carpenter can do it for you. You can't expect everyone to do plumbing in your house. Only a professional can do it. So in a similar manner, you can only expect a professional communication from a person, okay, who has become professional in communication. So don't expect that from a fellow who is immature. Bad people can only communicate bad because that is what is there in them. A fellow who is totally focused with movies can speak only about movies. He cannot speak about something else. See, I can speak about life, I can speak about English, but if you ask me to speak about politics, if you ask me to speak about the issues that are going on in the world, absolutely I'm helpless because I don't know what's happening in the external world. I hope you're understanding. So you cannot force me or you cannot even, you can do anything, okay, but I can't talk about it because I don't have maturity about it. So you need to understand that the other person is behaving according to his maturity. Even if he's speaking intentionally, that is his immaturity. So don't worry for that. Ganesh, what is meant by focus and goals, sir? Great. A focus is all about making your mind to think about what you want. Because when you think, you do the things that are related to your thinking. Okay? So everything is an outcome of your thinking, right? So what you have to do is you have to keep thinking about what you want in life. When you keep thinking about what you want in life, you are creating it actually. So thinking about what you want is nothing but focus. Probably tomorrow I have a training program for some bank officials in Rayalaseema Gramina Bank, okay. So I keep thinking about what I have to talk to them, okay, how I have to train them, what information I have to pass to them. So when I keep thinking about it, I can do the job better. That's it, okay. The same thing is with you. So what is that you want to achieve in life? Start thinking greatly about that. So when you think about it, your mind starts communicating and doing actions relevant to it. Okay, that is focus. And goal is nothing but an action plan. If you really want to do something, you will have a step-by-step action plan. Let's say that, okay, we are organizing a program and the program will have an agenda. Agenda is nothing but our action plan. We have a goal of starting it at a particular time and ending it at a particular time, and in the meantime this must go on. This is an action plan what we have. That action plan is our goal. So if you want to achieve something, you have to draw your action plans. How you have to achieve it. If I have to go to Tirupati, I have to create an action plan. It will take 3.5 hours for me. So I have to get started at this particular time and I have to go there and land by this particular time. I have to catch a bus. For that I have to go half an hour in advance. I have to be at the bus stop. All these things. This is your action plan. Action plan is your goal. So thanks Ganesh. Kasim, great to see your question, man. Thank you so much. Thinking in different situations, how to react. You just understand this, man, okay? So, it's very simple. Something is happening in the external world. Or let's say, a movie is projected on screen. Let's consider this whole world to be a movie screen. A movie is projected on the external screen. So, you watch the movie. When you watch the movie, you react or you respond. So, you get emotional sometimes, you cry sometimes, you laugh sometimes, you get serious sometimes, you stare at something sometimes, you will be in a pleasant mood sometimes, you will celebrate the glory of a beautiful thing on screen sometimes. But every experience that's happening between you, It is being displayed on screen and then you are reacting it. You need to understand that before watching the screen and you reacting for it, in the middle, the mind involves and the mind thinks about it. And that's where you have to concentrate. So when we clearly understand that what you are seeing on the screen, mind picks it, thinks about it, then makes you experience it. See, if your mind is so conscious that it's just a movie, people are acting and that's not real, then you don't react at all. You just keep watching it, that's it. Because now your thinking is active, but the thinking that is happening in the middle, okay, is an escape and you are not noticing that that is there. If you notice that that is there, then your experience misses here. Check once. See, let's say the hero is being stabbed, beaten, kicked by villains. Now you're feeling sad here. But if you clearly realize that, if you're aware and if you're awake and if you're noticing that it's all acting, that's not true. Okay, the hero is performing that acting, the villain is performing that acting, it's all an acting of people, that's not true. Then in that consciousness, automatically there's nothing for you to feel bad. I hope you understood this. Now, when something is happening on the screen, you clearly realize that you're not responding for it. In a similar manner, whatever that is happening in the external world, before you react or respond, if you clearly understand that your mind pops up and thinks about it, and if that thinking is being handled, if there you are conscious, if you are observing your mind with all concentration, so it's my mind that is thinking like this and making me suffer, react or respond, then in that consciousness, you will realize that what is happening in the external world is just a myth, is Maya. And that's not the cause of worry. What you're thinking about it is the cause of worry. So this realization, if you can get it, okay, I suppose absolutely you're going to come out of that. Okay. So think about it. It was much related with the past communication, what I've gone with. So I don't want to go in much details about discussing, okay. I hope you can understand this. So, is it done? I'll just finish it. So instant reactions on negative experiences could, hey Masood, the same thing man, okay, what I'm communicating. Reaction in the sense, okay, you're not identifying that your mind is thinking in the middle. So you're reacting. But if you realize that the mind is thinking in the middle and that is making you to react, then you won't react, you will respond. Understand this. So reaction is like not having things in your control. But responding is having things in your control, Masood. So understand this, instant reaction, you're getting anger, it's an instant reaction. You're getting irritated, you're getting worried, you're getting struggled, okay, you're mentally having a lot of pain within yourself. It is just because you're not realizing that your mind is thinking in the middle and that is making you to react for the situation. But if you realize that your mind is thinking in this manner and that is making me to feel this experience, then automatically what you do is, it's the mind which is making me to feel that. See, when you stand before a mirror, you see your image. Do you think that there is another person in the mirror? No. You know this. So probably, if someone says seriously, but what's happening is, you're not realizing, thinking in a manner wherein you're getting reacted to as it, I think there will be nothing for you to worry about. See, you can experience the life of Ramana Maharshi There are many things that were happening around him, but he was like a stoic, not reacting for anything. He was calm because he never involved his mind. He clearly knew that it is the mind which creates all this humbug. So he knows that the thinking of the mind is an illusion. I'm not supposed to react for it. Let anything happen in the external world. I'm not supposed to react for it because the mind thinks in a manner wherein I'll react for it. So if that thinking is an illusion, that is not true, then where is the chance for you to react? Understand this clearly. Raidu, how should I talk to him? I have to tell myself such thoughts. Mainuddin, I am unable to speak confidently, especially with girls, HR managers and colleagues. Was brought up in a Muslim family and I didn't have courage to girls. Maybe that's what I'm unable to overcome. How to speak confidently with girls. Somehow when I speak, I have that shyness which I'm unable to overcome. Mainuddin, I can just give you a simple hint here. It's simple. You need to understand this. Whatever you do, you become confident and courageous in that. Whatever you avoid doing, you develop fear, doubt in that, and hesitation in that. So you have been avoiding yourself in communicating to girls. So you have fear towards communicating with them. You have doubt towards communicating with them. You have shyness towards communicating with them. Now you have to destroy all this. You have to communicate with girls. So don't try to talk with HRs or officials or something like that. Try to talk to kids first. If possible, there are some girls in your neighborhood, start talking to them. Start talking to your family members. Spend good time with them. And slowly start talking to some new people, okay? And step by step, you'll overcome this. So the only way to destroy fear is face it. Whatever that is causing fear for you, you have to face it. That's it. When you face it, automatically you overcome it. Okay? You can do it, Manu. If at all, if you still have some problem over it, I think we can sit and discuss and resolve it greatly. Raidu, I couldn't get your question clearly. How should I talk to him? Okay, I have to tell myself such thoughts. It's a continuation of that. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to express myself. And I hope you will enhance your awareness and lead a wonderful life. All the best, all of you. Make this world a beautiful place to live in. Thank you.